If the leader has a vision to improve the health of his people and citizens, he doesn't have to look at to improve the number of medical facilities and hospitals. Namaskar, they call me Vijay Sridhara and I'm once again back with one more episode on my podcast Life Insights. This time, I am going to talk about medical facilities versus health of an individual. I have been watching the news for the last 10-15 years and the number of medical facilities have exponentially increased in the nation. Now, increase in medical facilities mean many things, but we need to understand when the number of medical facilities increase, they will become more reachable for an average human being. That is good in one aspect. When we look at the countryside or the villages, the hospitals are very far thrown away from the villages. So it is very difficult for them to reach to a hospital when they are in dire need. So that way it is absolutely good. But on the other hand, when you look at the urban side of India, too many hospitals are mushrooming everywhere. This is not a good sign. If you are increasing medical facilities, if you are increasing colleges in medicine, it means your nation is disease prone. Instead of this, the leaders should focus on how to improve the health of individuals. Now, in the name of businesses, the state and the country is constantly promoting packaged food. They are not even in a position, I'm saying they are not doing, but they are not even in a position to monitor constantly all the packing industry, food packaging industries, because the manpower is not sufficient for 1.5 billion people in India. The manpower to monitor constantly, to check all the licenses, all the manufacturers of food industry is not possible. So you need to have certain constraints on what kind of food can be manufactured in the nation, what kind of food should be consumed by its people. Then only health will be maintained. When there is health in people, you don't have to look at healthcare constantly. Yes, of course, in the case of emergencies, in the case of sickness due to infection or accident, you may have to attend to a hospital, but this doesn't become a day-to-day business for the individuals and the hospitals as well. When you're constantly promoting number of hospitals and medical facilities, you are indicating that your nation is becoming sick, which is not a good sign. The leaders should look at it very qualitatively. You should not look at increasing the medical facilities, hospitals and medicines. Instead, you should look at improving the health of individuals. And that is the most important thing that you should do for a people of 1.5 billion. You cannot manage healthcare when at least 10 to 20% of these 1.5 billion people suddenly fall sick. What will you do? Your hospitals and medical facilities will not be able to manage them. We have seen that during COVID. COVID has shown us that it is important to maintain health, and it is more practical to maintain health than when falling sick. You cannot manage the numbers of people when they fall sick, all of them. At the same time, number of medical facilities will not be sufficient and will not be a sustainable option. So, this is what I wanted to convey to leaders. And if it doesn't reach to leaders, but at least the individuals who are listening to this podcast, please understand, when you are sick, you will only create a sick generation of people as your offsprings. Your children will be sick if you are sick. So it is very important for you to be strong and healthy, to create a generation of people who are strong and healthy as well. I have proposed a concept called Arogya Chaturashra, where you eat right kind of food, do right kind of physical exercise, sleep well, keep your mind at peace. These 4 aspects dictate your individual health, provided you are in a right kshetra, right place where there is not much pollution. Constantly, day in, day out, you are not interacting with pollution. So if the place is correct, then automatically you can take care of these 4 aspects of Arogya Chaturashra and you can be healthy. But if the kshetra, the place itself is unhealthy, no matter what you do, you'll fall sick. And we need to ensure our places are healthy. For this, we need to keep checks on the industry, what kind of pollutants they are creating, and what kind of pollutants are we consuming as individuals. So instead of running a great race for assets and accumulation and currency, you race for your health, you race for your peace of mind. These are the two areas in the next 2-3 decades that you are going to suffer from. If you are very young, say 15 to 20 years of age or even 30 years, next 20 years are going to be very difficult for you, because the kind of pollution that we are creating in the name of automobiles, in the name of factories, in the name of meat, everything, every industry is creating pollution. And it is very difficult for 1.5 billion people to be constantly monitored and enforce the law on them. Please understand, we have to correct ourselves. And having said that, it is to leaders. They constantly have to come up with policy and encourage people to eat right kind of food, do right kind of work, be at peace. Don't constantly run after accumulation, because that will only damage your mind and body. Everybody has 24 hours. If you don't spend the time in correcting yourself, your health, your peace of mind, then the next 20 years are going to be very challenging for you. Now in the next 20 years, if you are going to reproduce, if you're going to have children, your children are going to take those genetics, either that of health or that of your mental suffering, and they will suffer mentally and physically as well. You should not produce a delicate generation of people. You should produce a stronger generation of people than you are. And towards this, the leaders must aim, not towards multiplying the number of hospitals and medical facilities. Yes, they are required. If we look at an individual needs hospital in different scenarios. One is if he is infected by a disease, if he has met with an accident, if he has old age ailments, and any other miscellaneous scenario. For example, during pregnancy, one may need to constantly visit hospital, that is required. But other than this, on a day-to-day basis, we don't have to visit hospitals. Why are so many hospitals required? Unless it is a village and countryside scenario, we don't need so many hospitals, because we are falling sick. We need to understand, as a generation of people, we are falling sick. That is why we need so many hospitals. Wake up, gentlemen. Wake up, men of India. You need to become strong. You need to make this nation strong, not sick. For 1.5 billion of people, if you don't eat right, the nation will become, the medical facilities of the nation will become unsustainable. Even the medicines will become adulterated when the demand rises. When the demand is so and so, or demand is limited, even then the medicines are getting adulterated, isn't it? Now, if the demand rises in an exponential fashion, when everybody is falling sick, suddenly medicines will become corrupted. And with 1.5 billion of people, monitoring everything is close to impossible even for the authorities. We need to improve from ourselves, both in the integrity as well as in health. Only then this nation is going to see sunshine in the coming years and coming decades. No matter what kind of leader we see, even if he is the greatest leader of all the leaders we have seen, if we ourselves don't correct our course of journey, both physically and mentally, no leader can correct us. Please understand. We individually have to correct ourselves. And this is the message I wanted to bring both to leaders and to individuals. Individuals, correct your integrity, correct your health, correct your course. And to the leaders, please look at people. Set their health right, not increasing the medical facilities. We need a message from you that how to be healthy in our lives, how to think healthy, how to be healthy. And to the businesses, I also leave one message to businesses. Businesses, this is your nation. We are your brothers and sisters. You are our brothers and sisters. Please understand this. Make food items and medicines in such a way that your brothers and sisters remain strong. Make this nation strong, not weak. Jai Hind. Thanks for listening to my podcast. This is Vijay Sridhara signing off.